Released in 2014, Alien Isolation at the time was pretty heavily overshadowed by Five Nights at Freddy's, which is good, don't get me wrong. However, it's not something I had invested a ton of time into personally these days, especially since fan games are so much higher in quality than what was being released lately from Steel Wool Studios. Alien Isolation at the time, unfortunately, did not establish a sizable fan base until a little bit later on, a year or so later. The game features graphic fidelity that at the time was nothing to snooze at, and today is still very good in my opinion. The game makes full use of the dark and shadowy bits to hide certain things, especially graphical and texture issues that were very common at the time, resulting in the game looking quite modern for how old it is. It is a decade old. It is actually 12 years old now, I think. Almost 12 years old. A fun thing about the game is that, personally, it feels better to play with the game on lower field of view. It makes it feel more immersive, also more closed in, which is a pro for me, but also an issue because I hate fucking enclosed spaces, but I also play horror games to get scared. Really a non-issue, right? Sweet spot I found was around 55 for me. You can go all the way up to 75 and all the way down to 47. You play as Amanda Ripley, the child of one of the main character from the first Alien movies, and the game opens with a brief introduction to the crew of the ship you start on before sending a small team of people to go and see what's wrong with Sevastopol Station, which has come into contact with the Nostromo. Well, kind of. And the Nostromo was the ship from Alien. As you're heading to Sevastopol, the group gets separated due to some floating debris and an explosion, and you finally really actually get to start playing the game. You head through Sevastopol, turn on some power generators, find a maintenance jack, and then, when you're trying to progress further, you get ambushed and meet Axel. He acts as your tutorial. He teaches you some of the things that you'll need to survive, not only other people, but also a monster. You head through some dark maintenance tunnels, and Axel leads you to his stash to acquire the flashlight. With Axel in tow, you continue sneaking past some guards, finding yourself at a powered-down door. Axel explains that you both have to press the power buttons at the same time so you can continue. As you're doing this, he's attacked. Ripley to the rescue. You run and smack bro who is attacking him with a maintenance jack, but your victory is short-lived as Axel is stabbed and devoured by the monster he mentioned before. Quick side note, nightmare difficulty might literally be impossible for me at the moment. The detection on the enemies is so insane that no matter how far away, if there's even a pixel of your head the AI can technically see, you've been detected. It's a bit unfair, but I'm going to continue to try to beat the game with the difficulty maxed. Yeah, I'm going to keep it 100%. I'm sure it's definitely possible, but the time investment would be absurd for me, since I have to get used to how the enemies operate in the game, and I want to do a run without killing any humans, so it's not going to work out so well. We're switching back to hard, which is what I will finish the game on. Once Axel is gone, we proceed forward, finding a security tuner that actually making it past this section, because it being hard versus nightmare is a huge difference, and the game feels more playable for me at the time. I would have probably tried to finish it on nightmare if I didn't procrastinate and start recording on Thursday, which was my bad. So blame the HUD in the footage on me. That's my bad. And to top it off, I make it through the area without killing any people and navigating through tech support where the flight logs from the Nostromo are. But to Ripley's dismay, they've been erased or corrupted, which blows fucking chunks. But at least we find the data cell to repair the tuner. The area is on lockdown, so we quickly unlock it and run into the Xeno face to face with, which you probably know is a Xenomorph. He quickly slinks away. However, we have to go the same way he left, so we'll continue as quickly as we can, but be on guard. Heading back to the room we found the tuner in, it's absolute carnage. The Xeno tears apart the survivors that had killed me countless times in my previous nightmare run attempt, and I was totally not upset about their deaths, so I was cheesing while waddling my ass to the door to unlock it with the tuner and continue towards Siegson Communications. We make it to Communications rather quickly, and have our first brief introduction with the androids. They're called Working Joes, and they're made by Siegson Corporation. The androids are pretty uncanny valley in general, as they appear as bald humans, however have extra flaps of skin around their neck. They are white, while walking and talking very, very robotically. We proceed through comms at speed and are blocked from contacting the Torrens. Then continue through the station and find a station with Samuels, one of the people we came to Sevastopol with, making calls for help. We give him the general rundown as to what's happened so far. And what do we have to do? All the way back to the fucking transit area. We meet up with Samuels and Taylor in the medical tower, meet up with a doctor named Kuhlman, and proceed to learn how dog shit I am at avoiding the xenomorph. We get locked inside medical with the Xeno, and this is easily one of the most tense sections that I played. You have to sneak past him while he's actively hunting you, making this section exceptionally difficult, and it requires some quick thinking and patience to ensure that we're not caught. After finding some stuff, we need to head over to yell at Kuhlman, who, like the fat chud he is, says it's not his fault, he only thought it was there, so we just decided to not fucking tell us, I guess. Karma's on our side, though, because bro gets slimed the fuck out, and then we escape. And then go boom. We make it back to Samuels after a fucking side quest to get a data chip upgrade for the tuner, die a few times, and then finally get back down to those two where Marshall Waits has been waiting for us while interrogating Samuels. He tasks us with fixing transit to the habitation area, and then we head off. Fortunately, this time we don't die and make our way back, nabbing a gas torch and using it to cut open a vent so we can head over to the transit station. Some people try to prevent us from getting on, but using a flare and some super duper fast running skills, we make it over to habitation. We meet up with the group in Marshall's area and are told to go speak with Marlowe. He's a convict, and he gives us the rundown and information about him and his crew uncovered a distress beacon and a huge sort of hive down in the bowels of a mysterious-looking ship, to include a flight recorder with the Nostromo's name on it before we swap back to playing as Ripley and acquire the motherfucking flamethrower. I finally get to be less of a pussy around the xenomorph, and when he shows up, I get to not die 100% of the time. I will fucking take it. Let's head back to the Systech Spire. We head through some areas, try to lock down the Xeno in a specific area. We lock ourselves and the Xenomorph in this pretty fucking small area that we would absolutely not survive if shit gets spicy and the big man decides to stop fucking around and just slime us out. Our boy, and an absolute fucking G, Ricardo, realizes that we can't get out, so he suppresses the lockdown to let us out. To the Marshal's dismay. Fuck that guy. I hope he fucking dies. So we continue to a small detachable laboratory where we have to bring back the power to detach the lab with the xenomorph inside. This fucking guy, bro. Marshall Waits is such a fucking chud. He had detached the pod forcefully without waiting for Ripley to step out into the fucking rest of the station. So now we have to wait for the airlock to repressurize while avoiding the xenomorph that we've been fucking with and is now super fucking pissed off. Ripley's also pissed. I'm pissed, the Marshal, because he's a fucking dick, but instead of apologizing, bro's celebrating like he's saving everyone there, which means more shit is obviously gonna fucking go wrong, right? Like there being more than one alien, maybe? Foreshadowing much?
Yes, wait.
If you've seen the movies, you know exactly what I'm fucking talking about. There's always more than one. So let's head back and go fucking crash out at the Marshal in the habitation tower. But I'm going to do a little bit of side questing since I have some extra stuff. So let's go take a look. As we get closer to Hab, we hear some shit go down over the radio. But since the xenomorph be gone, I'm going to sprint there as fast as I can because I'm not really worried about making noise. We get to the Marshal's area and that motherfucker dead as hell. On God, I'm so fucking glad he got glassed the fuck out. He fucking deserved it. That fucking dick. And to top it off, Ricardo, the G himself, is still alive. So we're going to bebop down to the synthetics area and unga-bunga some androids. We see Samuels trying to figure out what's going on. Show up. And he shows those fucking androids what's up. He beat straight ass. So we're going to zoom to catch up with the boy taking out my anger on some androids by beating their ass with a stun baton and a maintenance jack, or blasting them with a shotgun we found when we started making our way back over to the Marshal's area. We put belt to ass once again, and we make it through the showroom and dispatch a bunch of fucking working Joes. Fuck those. You don't understand the pure unadulterated fucking hatred I have for these fucking things. I just despise them because I can't just run away and they grab you and fuck with you. and the alien won't fuck with them, so they'll just make fucking noise and then lure the fucking alien there. So I get to take them out with no repercussions. I'm gonna fucking do it. Feel like we're getting close to the end of the adventure. We gotta find Samuels and then fucking dip. I'm a little worried about Marlowe though. His body was nowhere to be found when I was heading towards the marshal office, so he might be a problem, especially if he's pissed off about being incarcerated. Would not blame him. So we make our way through Siege and Synthetics and finally find Samuels, who's doing some reckless bullshit that we gotta help bro with. Deactivating the reformat chamber bro shoved himself into, he crawls out and like the absolute fucking man is giving Ripley the ability to talk to Apollo, the control system for the androids, to get some closure. And since Samuels is the man, that is exactly what we're gonna fucking do. Let's zoom on down to the Apollo core. As we head back to the elevator, we find out that Taylor's a fucking snake. Looking for information on the mysterious ship that Marlowe found, it seems that Ripley is a bit pissed that Taylor knows more about what's going on than she does. I don't blame her, now that we made it to Apollo core. I have some bones to pick with these fucking androids. They're completely immune to stuns, and it's hard to make distance to break away from them. I obviously died, because I'm fucking shit at this game. But I'm really happy now, because I fucking used some bombs, and I blew all 4 of those fuckers up. So now I don't have to deal with them, and I can just run around. We be at the core now.
What the hell?
Let's talk to the fuck-ass android. We find out from Apollo that Weyland Yutani bought out the entire fucking station to protect the fucking alien. Yay! Now we head to the center of the reactor to figure out why the fuck Apollo won't cancel the lockdown. Well, shit. We made it through the reactor to the maintenance area, and there's a massive fucking nest. There are eggs everywhere and a ton of bodies, but at least we get the flamethrower, right?
Ricardo,
Well, that means there's fucking xenomorphs down here too. So I guess I'm at least able to defend myself. Well, we absolutely smoked the fuck out of the nest, but a ton of those resilient fuckers made it out onto the station. I was counting about 5. So now I guess my running privileges have been revoked. There's a pro though. Marlowe was able to call his ship back in while the comms were open, so we're going to try to get to that and escape. Not that my hopes are very high though. We make our way through medical and find an evac pod that takes us to the Anisadora, where we find Marlowe and Taylor. But before we actually interact with them, we see a facehugger on the ground, which is foreboding and really fucking bad. They shouldn't be on the Anisadora, but regardless, we'll continue through the broken rundown ship. We are contacted over the intercom by Marlowe, who explains more thoroughly what's going on. And to be 100% honest, he's right. We should just nuke the whole fucking station and keep fuck-ass Weyland Yutani from getting their little dick grippers on the xenomorphs, but nah, we're gonna survive instead. So, we prevent the reactor from overloading fully, but still blow up the Anisadora, which was our ticket out, with Taylor inside, so Taylor's fucking dead now too. So now we're just down to Ripley and Ricardo, but as we head our happy asses back to fix the stabilizers, because the detonation from the Anisadora fucked those up, we finally receive comms from Verlaine on the Torrens, offering help, which causes some fuck-ass security grunts to flood into the station, making traversing that much more difficult. So we head all the way through medical and the communications to try to get a fix on the Torrens location and bypass Apollo's efforts to block any outside communications. We go outside and manually reset the dishes to point at the Torrens location and are finally able to contact Verlaine. I gotta say, this is one of the best space sections in any game I have played. That applies to most of the outside sections in this game, right? They don't heavily lean into it, which is nice. But I really like how there is like minimal sound from everything around you, and if you're not in physical contact with it, it doesn't sound like it makes any noise. It's also fucking gorgeous looking up the stars and at the giant planet that's below Sevastopol. We actually head back inside to get to the docking bay because the Torrens is unable to dock there. As of now, since they can't latch on, so we speed walk over there, and I found my first and only glitch of my entire playthrough. I could not pull out my flamethrower and shoot it after being spotted by the xenomorph after I threw a flare. That was a bit frustrating for a minute. Good thing I saved. At least, I torched that bitch the second go with a Molotov, and that felt great. Fuck. The homie Ricardo got smoked. We find him at the console he was at when we saw him earlier with a facehugger on him. So, that shit's tragic. Like, the best character in the entire game is dead. Let's continue making our way to the loading dock. And as we head through, we are actively hunted by a xenomorph and have to avoid him. This shit has been burning my resource stores bad. It's hard to distract them effectively and maintain enough defensive things to dissuade an insta-kill. Pipe bombs and Molotovs are your best friend at this point, and now I'm fucking out of them. So let's try to make for the loading dock now that we made it past the angry man effectively. We finally make it to the towing platform as we're finally able to make it off the ship. We get nabbed. We're able to narrowly escape being killed and able to find our way back to the tow platform by going out of a nest and through the middle of a tram station, which is super fucking dangerous. We almost died a few times there. Almost got crushed by an elevator. Bunch of fuck shit. Now that we made it back to the tow platform, though, we have to go outside, detach the Taurens from the dock because they got locked in. So our slow ass goes outside to unlock the Taurens and seemingly escapes. But wait, there's a ton of black men. Well, Verlaine won't answer comms, so I'm assuming they got on board, and that's fucking game. We get attacked and eject ourselves in a xenomorph into space. We're now stuck in space, floating for eternity. Holy fucking shit, this game was so fucking good, dude. I didn't remember shit about it, but I'm glad I replayed it. It was a bit on the hard side, but I guess that's to be expected from an older game. I don't mind that. I actually prefer harder games. The controls were great. The graphics were super good. It makes me think back on my childhood with a pretty good fucking hell yeah. If you haven't played the game at this point, it is fucking 22 or fucking 12, my bad. About 12 years old now. I definitely think you should play it. It's usually on sale, and I, in my opinion, feel like it's one of those timeless classic type of games. Yes, I'm aware the video is coming out a day or two late. I procrastinated, didn't start recording till Thursday, so that one's on me. I just bought Echoes of Aincrad, though, so I'll be playing Sword Art offline next week, and this week, and weekend. I'll let you guys know how it is in the next video. But for now, I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.